What is up, guys? KiddCalin here, back with another build video, and today we are talking about what's possibly going to be my new main build going into PvP moving forward. This build is dirty. It is literally dirty, and honestly, there's been some talk about some underused exotics getting some love. So possibly, in the future, this build might even get more deadly. Today we are going to be pairing the exotic pulse rifle No Time to Explain with the Hunter Exotic Helmet Foetracer. Now I know what you're thinking. Foetracer? Who the heck uses Foetracer? Exactly, no one uses this gosh darn exotic, but it is actually pretty darn clutch. And when paired with No Time to Explain, can be a very, very deadly exotic. Let me explain. Alright, first up we got No Time to Explain, which comes with the exotic perk Rewind Again. Precision shots and shots against combatants slowed and frozen by stasis will return to the magazine. Now this is like automatic, right? It's not like subsistence or rewind rounds where you have to empty the clip to get the shots back. No, these are instantly back if you hit the precision shot or the slowed or frozen shot. Now, with this build, we're not going to be taking advantage of the stasis portion of that perk, but what's nice is as long as you are hitting either slowed or frozen targets or precision shots, you don't have to worry about reloading. And this build incentivizes precision hits because of the next perk, Time Slip. At 10 stacks of Rewind Again, a small portal will open, shooting bullets from an alternate timeline version of this weapon. Precision hits extend the portal's duration. So yeah, the D1 version of this weapon is being shot through a portal, probably at like Black Garden or something, and those shots are coming here into D2, and it's a beautiful thing. Alright, now the last part of this exotic, but is not exactly necessary, is the Catalyst, which projectiles from the portal shoot more frequently, basically increases the fire rate of the portal, which isn't exactly necessary, but it definitely helps with this build. Alright, so the next part of this build is Foetracer, which gives us the Relentless Tracker perk, visually marks targeted enemies, but the cool part is it deals more damage to low health marked targets. Alright, so basically the way that this works is while you're aiming down sights, it will mark the target that you have aimed in your sights. It's a little weird. I think you have to have your reticle on the target, but once you take your sight off of that target, they will have a hunted debuff on their screen, basically indicating that they are marked by your Foetracers, and it doesn't really go away. I mean, it does go away after a while, but yeah, it takes a minute. Now, while they're marked with this debuff, you know, you can track them through walls. Obviously it's wall hacks, but when their health gets low, the damage of whatever you're using does indeed bump up. Now this is why I say that if this weapon gets a buff of any kind, then it will definitely become a higher tier exotic. The issue with this exotic, like the massive glaring problem with this exotic, is that for something to be considered low health, you have to, in PvP at least, have gotten through your opponent's shields and most of their health. Meaning, 9 times out of 10, they're going to only have a sliver of health anyways, which means your bonus damage is not actually being utilized. If you were to spit on them, they would actually die from 1 damage. So the bonus damage isn't exactly helping at that point. What I think a really good buff to this exotic would be to increase that threshold for what is considered low health. On this exotic at least. This exotic could have been a contender for something like One-Eyed Mask back when that was broken. Now obviously I don't want them to like buff it to a certain point, because then at that point this is basically One-Eyed Mask 2.0 or 1.0, but the 2.0 version of the 1.0 One-Eyed Mask. You guys get what I'm saying. You know, minus the overshield, obviously it would be a problem. Now, when it comes to No Time Explain, fortunately, with the Foetracer debuff getting down to that last little sliver of health, I was doing about 42 per crit. So that would definitely be extremely welcome if they were to increase that threshold. But the cool thing about this exotic is that it is not just buffing our no time to explain damage, it is also buffing the time chasm damage as well, from 11 to 13 and in some cases 14, which means each of your bursts that basically never miss are doing about 39 damage, which is basically a free crit. So that's gonna be making your forgiveness on no time to explain even better, which means you don't have to hit all crits. So yeah, you can see it makes getting the kill easier, but if you do happen to get to that point, it is also buffing no time to explain's damage from 36 to about 42. Now, we are going to be remedying this to where we get this damage boost all the time in just a moment, but yeah, that's pretty much how Foetracer works. Now, the last part to this build that makes it extremely lethal, and this is the part that I didn't realize was going to be such an important part, is the subclass we are running, which is the Nightstalker middle tree subclass Way of the Wraith, which comes with the perks or abilities, I guess, Spectral Blaze, which turns our super into the Spectral Blaze super. Everyone knows what this super is. It's extremely deadly in PvP. But the main part is Flawless Execution. While crouched, precision kills grant invisibility, true sight, and increased melee range, as well as Shattering Strike. After performing Flawless Execution, our melee does increase damage, and Corrosive Smoke, which makes our smoke bombs do poison damage. Alright, so going back to the Flawless Execution portion of this subclass, it meshes so well with No Time to Explain, because No Time to Explain basically lives and breathes off of precision hits. Not even precision kills, precision hits. As long as you're getting the hits, obviously you're getting the kills, and as long as you're getting the kills, you are staying invisible, which is basically making you the most lethal hunter on the field in PvP at all times. It is such a great synergy, and honestly, I did not want to share this build because I thought it was too scummy. I'm dead serious. I thought this build was going to be extremely scummy and just cheesy, but that's the beauty of this build. It is extremely cheesy, but the cheese doesn't stop there. We got one more thing that we need to talk about, and that is the mods for this build. Alright, so the last moving parts of this build is the mods, and that is because we're going to be making up for that lack of damage boost that we're going to be getting from Foetracer, because unfortunately, like I said before, the Foetracer damage boost really isn't coming into effect until that last shot, so we are going to be keeping ourselves charged with light by using the Charged with Light mod Swift Charge, which states that multi-kills with a pulse rifle, SMG, or sidearm will give us a stack of Charged with Light. Now the cool thing about No Time to Explain is that, one, yes, it's a pulse rifle, but two, if you get a kill with the time chasm, that also counts as a pulse rifle kill, which makes this weapon extremely easy to get charges with light with when using the Swift Charge mod. Now with that, we're going to be pairing it with stacks on stacks, because 2 charges of light is obviously better than one when we are trying to get that damage boost, and of course high energy fire for that consistent damage boost to our weapons, as well as our time chasm, which pretty much leaves us with 2 empty slots. Now I am also running Taking Charge in one of my armor slots as a supplementary mod, but I think that's it, which means I have 1 free slot and I don't have anything to put in it that'll complement the build. So pretty much, if you have something that you want to run, maybe if you want to run this with a sidearm and have surprise attack on, that's definitely an option. I've chosen SMG because I just like SMGs. But yeah, that pretty much leaves you with a little bit of flexibility if you do decide to try this build out for yourself. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leaving a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.